Good afternoon, African Kingdom. Last week there was a meeting with Quad D, Dirty Dingling, Dementia Donnie, and President Xi from China discussing tariffs and a possible framework for a trade deal. I want to point that out. Just another framework for a trade deal. This is the fourth time that Quad D, the United States and China, has discussed a possibility for an updated trade agreement and to relieve each other on the restrictions and tariffs they are placing upon one another in this trade war started by Quad D, Dirty Dingling, Dementia Donnie. Only the first time they've met face to face, but some of the things that they discussed were rare earth minerals, which China has a complete monopoly on, which are key to our technologies, even our military in the United States. So China, according to Quad D, claimed they would loosen their restrictions for a year because they previously claimed they were going to restrict the export of rare earth minerals to the United States because of this ongoing trade war. So Quad D claims that they agreed upon a deal there. He also claimed that China and the United States had agreed upon reducing tariffs on a illegal substance, legal in some capacities, that begins with an F, from 20% down to 10% into the U.S. markets. They also, according to Scott Bessent, China actually agreed to if you're Congressman, if you're talking about tariffs, Congressman, tariffs, if the exporting countries don't like tariffs so much. Scott Bessent claimed that China agreed to purchase 12 million metric tons of soybeans, which is down from 22 million during the same season last year. But he claims they agreed to purchase 12 million metric tons coming into the meeting. Now, we will see if that actually happens, because obviously when it comes out of Scott Bessent's mouth or Quad D, you can take it with a grain of salt. And finally, TikTok was not discussed. There was no framework for a deal with TikTok. Just further proves that the Quad D administration is full of shit, because they claimed that a TikTok deal was already done and that 10 American billionaires would be overseeing the U.S. portion of this app's content. But that doesn't appear to be true either, because China made no claim that they agreed to any TikTok deal or that ByteDance agreed to any sale of TikTok to the United States. So I want you to keep in mind that none of these agreements between China and the United States were put in writing. We still don't have a formal signed trade agreement, so things can change at the drop of a dime, and I'm sure that they will over the next 2 weeks or months, but we will see. And as always, Republicans, release the files.